Hi everyone, welcome back to Curve and Stitch. I'm so excited because today marks the very first episode in our beginner sewing series, and I'm kicking it off with our new sewing partner, the Brother FS70WTS. She might not have come in a shiny box, but trust me, this machine have a lot of magic under the hood. If you've just started sewing or you've just picked up a used machine and you are wondering where to begin, you are in the right place. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's meet your new sewing bestie. I got this machine from Facebook Marketplace, and honestly, that's one of the best ways to start. Learning how to sew or sewing doesn't have to be expensive. What matters most is learning to understand your machine. The Brother FS70WTS is perfect for beginners. It's quiet, smooth, lightweight, and it's got 70 built-in stitches. So whether you are making simple hem, home decors, or even dresses, this little machine can handle it all. Alright, let's take a quick tour of this beauty so you can feel right at home with yours. Here's the LCD screen. This shows your stitch number, and on top of that, where the J is displaying is where the foot you need to use will be shown. So whatever letter be shown there is the foot you need to use for that stitch. On the right top corner of the LCD screen is the stitch length display where the 2.5 is, and the button close to it is the stitch length selector. So when you press on the plus, it increases its length. The maximum stitch length is 5, and when you press on the minus, it reduces the stitch length. And underneath it is the stitch width display. The button also close to it is the stitch width selector. So when you press on the plus, it increases the stitch width. The maximum stitch width is 7, and when you press the minus, it reduces the stitch width. And under the stitch number is the stitch selector button. So the first button increases the stitch number by 10. And the second one increases the stitch or decrease it by 1. The foot you need, the width, everything is displayed on the LCD screen. So now on the screen, I've selected a stitch number 36, and the foot I need for the stitch is A. The stitch length is 0.4, and the stitch width is 2. And underneath the LCD screen is the stitch options that comes with the machine. So we have from basic straight stitch to decorative stitches, which is a total of 70 stitches. Every stitch is also identified by a number. So whatever stitch you want, you use the stitch selector to select the number that is displayed on top of the stitch. Down here, you've got the presser foot lever. This rises and lowers the foot so you can slide your fabric in and out. This is your tension control dial. It's one of the most important settings you will learn about. It helps balance your top and bottom thread so your stitches look clean. Inside this hole is the thread take-up lever, which we will show in our next video how we use it in threading our thread. This is our start-stop button, which you can use to sew without the foot pedal. This is the reverse button. It is used to sew backwards. This is the needle position button. You can use it to put your needle inside or outside the feed dog. This is the speed control dial. Use this to either go slow or faster. On top of the machine here is our bobbin winder. You will learn how to use this to wind our bobbin in our next video. This is our spool pin. This is what we use to hold our spool of thread to use when sewing on the machine. These two and some other bits is what we will use to wind our bobbin in the next video. The hole right here is the handle, what you use to carry your machine around. And this metal here is your thread guide, what you use to guide our thread when we are threading the machine. This is our bobbin winding thread guide and pre-tension disc. This is what gives your bobbin the tension it needs when we are winding it. This is a foot controller socket. This is where you connect your foot pedal. This is the machine's thread cutter. Use this to cut your thread after sewing. The flat metal bit that is going up and down is presser foot. This applies constant pressure on your fabric whilst your sewing is taking place. Always make sure you use the right foot for the selected stitch. This is the automatic threader that comes with the machine. You can use this when threading your machine. This is the buttonhole lever. We use it with the buttonhole foot when creating buttonholes. This is your bobbin cover. Inside you find your bobbin. This is your presser foot. This black bit here is what you use to release your presser foot when you want to take it off or when you want to change the presser foot. This is what you use. You just press on it, then it releases the presser foot like so. And if you look closely on the metal plate, you see these little lines. They are your seam guide. Use them to keep your stitches straight and consistent. Tell me in the comments, what project are you most excited to make with your sewing machine? A pillow, a tote bag, or maybe your first dress? This is the machine socket, and this hole here is the socket connector. And beside the socket is the power and machine lights switch that you use to on and off the machine, and the machine light. Up here is the machine air vent. Make sure this part is never covered when using the machine. This is your hand wheel. It manually rises or lowers your needle. This is the feed dog position lever. You can use it to either put your feed dog up or inside or down. You can use it to control the feed dog by taking it up or down. The machine also have an extension table which is useful for large projects. So this is extension table that comes with the machine. So that's your quick tour of your Brother FS70WTS, a simple, powerful and reliable sewing body for beginners. In our next episode, I will show you how to wind your bobbin and thread your machine perfectly. Zero tangles, no skipping thread, and no frustrations. So if you are ready to start sewing confidently, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification, because next time we are getting hands-on. I have linked below where you can get this machine in case you want some or in case you want to check it out. And don't forget to check our other pattern drafting tutorials so that when we start sewing, things will not get complicated. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.